All right, hello and welcome. Just out of curiosity, am I able to turn my video on or, because right now I'm not able to do screen sharing or start my video. All right, I'm the co-host now, so I think I should be able to join. Hello, everyone. My name is Dan Grech. I'm the founder and CEO of BizHack Academy, and I'm very excited to be here today for the second year to talk about 5 reasons that your nonprofit should start advertising online. All of you should see my screen right now. It's a big presentation. I actually had 2 hours last time I gave it, so I'm going to cram in a lot of great information for you today. Gwendolyn Foote, it's great to see you're here. Guys, feel free to put in questions in the chat or the Q&A, and I'll be answering them dynamically. So if you want to have any questions asked, I am monitoring both the Q&A and the chat, and I'm happy to address those as we go. So again, today we're talking about the 5 reasons your nonprofit should advertise online. Those 5 reasons are audience insights, lookalike audiences, retargeting, reinventing email, and Google for nonprofits. We will dig into each of those shortly. So first I wanted to introduce myself. I actually have an extensive background working for nonprofits. I spent more than a decade at NPR and PBS. I also worked at the Miami Herald, where I was part of a Pulitzer Prize, and have been in the South Florida community now for more than 20 years. I have transitioned into the business world since 2013, where I've been the head of marketing at a billion-dollar energy company, as well as 2 software startups. I'm a Princeton undergrad, FIU master's degree, and Fulbright scholar. I'll also mention that my wife, Gretchen Biesing, is the CEO of Catalyst Miami, one of the largest homegrown nonprofits in town, and founded by who will hopefully be our next mayor, Daniela Levine Cava. BizHack Academy is the company I started. We are, we do digital marketing training for small businesses and nonprofits. We help you find donors and customers online. We were named a top startup in 2019 by the Miami Herald. We've been accelerated by accelerator programs funded by the Knight Foundation, Goldman Sachs, and Entrepreneurs Organization, and we have partnered with the 3 top educational institutions in South Florida, not including Broward College, FIU, and Miami-Dade College. We've also partnered with some of the top small business and nonprofit support organizations in town. Obviously, the Miami Foundation, thank you so much for letting me be here today. But also, we've partnered with Philanthropy Miami, Miami Bayside Foundation, Florida State Minority Supplier Development Council, and many, many others. Let's talk about the challenge that many nonprofits face. And I want to just acknowledge up front that you guys face an enormous marketing challenge. First, the users of your service, the beneficiaries of your service, are not always the same people as the ones who actually pay for it. So it's often you're getting funds from donors and foundations, but the services you're providing may be to working class folks, to help people who are disadvantaged, etc. Now, there are some nonprofits where the payer is the beneficiary, like arts nonprofits or museums. So if you're a theater company and you have a theater, you have a production, while yes, you have donors, you also have people who buy tickets and sit in those seats, and that helps defray a portion of the cost. In the nonprofit world, we call this earned revenue. Any earned revenue you have is where the beneficiary is the person who's paying for the product. But for many, if not most nonprofits, there's this divide. And this actually makes your marketing challenge harder than it is for most businesses, because you have one person who's benefiting and another person who's paying for it. Second, marketing is underfunded or often not funded at all. Or it's called donor development, and you try to put your marketing functions into your communications department on one side or your development department on another. Communications, marketing, and development are all different functions, and unfortunately, most nonprofits underfund or don't fund at all marketing. But I think this is a huge mistake. I think that You should write marketing into your budgets for any programming that you get support for. And you should have a separate marketing department who is focused on not only generating donations, but also getting more people to utilize your service for outreach. Now, given that you have less money and a harder marketing challenge, the only way for you to win in this scenario is you have to be smarter to win. And that's really what today's presentation is about, is how to be smart. Now, a lot of folks come to me when I say, hey, as a nonprofit, you should be advertising. And the first thing that they say is, we don't have the money. And I'm about to tell you a marketing trick that's not really a trick at all, that can get you a $10,000 a month budget for marketing, and it costs you nothing. It's an opportunity that's available to you. It's the 5th tip that I'm going to give you, and it puts a lie to the we don't have the money. So first I want you to understand that it's not expensive to market online. With budgets as little as $30, $40, you can make progress in places like Facebook. And with Google for Nonprofits, which I'll talk to you about, you can even get that $10,000 a month budget I mentioned. Online advertising that's done well, that's targeted well, could also help you raise more money. So in other words, you invest money to make more money, a positive ROI. And then finally, because paid advertising is very targeted, you're getting in front of exactly the right people, and therefore you're increasing the impact that your work is doing. So basically, when people say that they don't have the money, I say, I don't think that's true. There are funds available, and if you do it right, you'll make money by investing in it. I want to give you an example of the Moon River Cabaret. So the Moon River Cabaret, and by the way, this is a case study that is pre-COVID. So this is about actually a live performance. So I do want to just give that caveat. So much in the world has changed since this case study was developed. But the Moon River Cabaret was looking to develop a permanent home, and they needed to sell out their tickets to their venue in order to be able to prove to the venue that was hosting them temporarily that they deserved to stay there permanently. And so the Moon River Cabaret partnered with Barter Winwood, and they basically said, we're going to now have you host 3 shows, and if there are enough people at them, that'll be enough for you to continue. So the problem was that Facebook wasn't working for them. They had been basically posting on their Facebook page. Their friends and family were liking the posts, but there was not enough traffic being generated and interest being generated by these organic or free Facebook posts that they even periodically boosted to get them the results they wanted, which is that sellout. So they decided to start a new approach, was to run targeted ads. What they did is they created a video slideshow using free software, in this case Lumen 5. They spent $20 on the ad campaign, and they started it 6 days prior to the show. And all they wanted to have people do is watch a 6-second version of their ad. Their target audience was really well done. They did a little bit of research into people who liked their show, and they found out that people who liked live theater, including off-Broadway, dinner theater, pinup stars, and transgender friendly. And they targeted within 25 miles of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca, and Key West, places they're likely to have the show. Now, the most critical insight was their initial insight. They found that military veterans were a fan of their burlesque show. So they used Facebook to target military veterans. And the ad was a hit. This is a screenshot. You can see here that they had 269 people watched the video, 10 seconds or more, and that they had an average cost of 7 cents per video view. 32 people clicked through to the site where they could buy a ticket. That cost per click was 63 cents. So here is another way to view this. They had 2,000 people who the video was exposed to on their Facebook feed. 270 of them watched the video, 10 seconds or more, and 32 clicked through to the page. The ad led to more pre-sales, and it raised awareness that led to a rush of door sales. They ended up having 92 new people attend the show. The only way those people were able to have found out about it was the ad. So 92 people, $20 spent, that's $900 in revenue, divided by the $20 is a $4,500 return on investment. A really powerful $20 investment led to $920 in revenue. And what this did, which was even more important, is this gave them the opportunity to have a permanent home before COVID for their cabaret show. So they had already exhausted their friends and family network, and they were now ready to expand to new folks. And that's what this Facebook ad did. And this is a very relevant example to many of you for Give Miami Day. You can use an ad to help break through to audiences that you haven't reached before in your prior outreach for Give Miami Day. So let's now go through the 5 reasons. And I did want to invite people to ask questions. I haven't received any yet. The way you ask questions is click on the bottom in the Q&A link and go ahead and add a question. I will be keeping an eye out for that. So please ask questions if you have them. So again, here are the 5 reasons. We're going to start with Audience Insights. So Audience Insights is a free tool that Facebook offers that allows you to find your audience inside of Facebook. Now, why Facebook? First of all, Facebook owns Instagram. Keep in mind about that. So whenever I refer to Facebook, I'm really referring to Facebook and Instagram. Second, we're talking about paid ads, not posts and not even boosts, right? We do not recommend you boost. We recommend you run ads. And the way you run ads is through a platform called Facebook Ad Manager or Business Manager, and we'll talk about that. So Facebook and Instagram have 2 billion users every month. 1 of every 5 minutes in the United States spent on mobile phones is spent in Facebook or Instagram. They have 1.2 billion monthly users. Sometimes folks are like, I don't know if my audience is on Facebook. I'm here to assure you your audience is on Facebook. No matter what business you're in, they're there. So what is a Facebook ad? A Facebook ad, simply put, is like it's similar to a post, like a status update, but you have a video or image, you have some text above, and then it gives you the opportunity to have text below, and then this button, this learn more button, which we call the call to action button. Ads are much more specifically designed to drive action, whether it's to click to a website, to watch a video, to go to a landing page, to message you. And that is how they're different than boosted posts, which are really just about engagement, likes and comments. Facebook Audience Insights is a free tool inside of Business Manager, which is the Facebook mechanism for you to create ads. And if you want to access Business Manager, all you have to do is go to business.facebook.com and open an account, and it's for free. Audience Insights is the free tool that allows you to explore audience insights. And it's a really powerful tool because it shows you how to find your ideal target audience. So I'm going to stop sharing for a sec, and I'm going to open up and do a quick live demo of Facebook Audience Insights. I'm going to share my screen again. So this is Facebook Business Manager, and I got here by going to business.facebook.com. And what you'll see here is this is where you build your ads, right? And so if you want to build ads, you go to the ads section, and it gives you the ability to create an ad. So, and this is for all the different pages that I have. In order to open a business page in Facebook, you do need to in order to open a Facebook Business Manager account, you do need to have a Facebook business page inside of Facebook. Insights are a way for you to see different information about your audience, who follows you, what their age ranges are, and so forth. And then under more tools, you can see that you have a ton of different tools that allow you to play with and discover different audiences. And so one of the ways, if you want to find the Audience Insights tool, is that you can just Google it, and it then takes you to the page. And what you'll see here is, I'm going to go ahead and start over. What you see here right now is insights about the audience in the United States. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put Miami. So now we're looking at insights about the Miami audience. You can see in Miami on Facebook, 58% women, 42% men. That's higher than the averages. You can see that there are more people between ages 35 and 54 in Miami than on average. Incredibly interesting insights. But let's go ahead and add burlesque, and let's see if we can get some interesting insights from there. So it's a little bit too small an audience, so I'm going to just remove the Miami. And now you can see in the US, the burlesque audience tends to be between age 35 and 54. So they're a little older. Equal men and women, which is interesting. Much, much more likely. Oh, let me just hit all these. Let me just remove this as a targeting criteria. So this actually will give us now a little bit more accurate information. I had forgotten that I had that set. So this is the burlesque audience in the United States. And you can see that, interestingly, more women than men are interested in burlesque, and that the age range is 35 and above, and especially 35 to 54. You can see their education level. Is they're less likely to be married. No surprise there. They, however, are more likely to have gone to grad school. So they're an educated audience. They tend to be single, in a relationship, or engaged. So so these are kind of a thing that people who are on dates tend to go to. And then you can go to this page like section, and you can learn more about how people who like burlesque also tend to like Cirque du Soleil. They tend to like Lost Pinup magazine. They tend to like Inked magazine and tattoos. So you're now starting to see some of the interesting things that folks who like burlesque like. For instance, their favorite shop to go, so you can see here, women's clothing store. Their favorite women's clothing store is Dress Lily. Never heard of Dress Lily, but you can see that Dress Lily is a potential, 11 million followers, and people who like burlesque tend to like this shop. Why is this relevant? Well, if you're running a burlesque show, you might partner with Dress Lily and have your branded apparel come from them. Or you could give out a Dress Lily gift certificate for people who buy tickets. So Dress Lily could be an influencer, and maybe they could promote your campaign. So that's what Audience Insights can do for you. And you can see these are the public figures, Dalai Lama, I like that, that these folks tend to most like. This is the burlesque audience. And what this means is these are all potential influencers, potential folks who can become supporters of your effort. And these are the persona or profile of your ideal customer. So, and you can see this is a kind of quirky group. You know, they like steampunk. You know, you can see that they like Diddy Von Teese, who's a very famous, Diddy Von Teese is a very famous strip show person. Weird history is another. So you're starting to now get a picture of who this audience is, right? The persona of your ideal customer based on their Facebook behavior. This is free data, right? So this is work that you could do. Let's say you run a nonprofit and you want to learn more about your potential donors. You can easily go into Audience Insights, put in whatever it is that you do. So call it affordable housing. Let's see if it comes up as an option. So that doesn't come up, but you could say social justice. And you can then click on social justice, or you can do voting rights. You can do theater, different theater, dinner theater. You can do fine art, etc. So no matter what industry you're in, whatever kind of nonprofit you are, you can then see who people who express an interest in your topic area, in this case, fine art. And you can see how different it looks than the burlesque audience. Very, very powerful free tool that I highly recommend all of you guys consider using. So we're going to move on now to tip number 2. And again, I wanted to encourage you, if you haven't yet, please ask a question. Lookalike audiences. So in Facebook advertising, and this is true of Google as well, there are 3 types of audiences. Core audiences are the audiences you make based on their interests. Where do they live? What are their interests? What is their gender? That's a core audience. A custom audience is somebody who's interacted with your website or your social media or something that you've put online. So if you have a video, you can have a custom audience of people who've watched the video. If you have an Instagram account, you have a custom audience of people who've interacted with your website. If you have a lookalike audience, you can interact, if you have a website, you can interact with people who visited your website. And then finally, you have the lookalike audience option. And lookalikes can be incredibly powerful for nonprofits. Let me show you for a second an example of custom audiences, and then we're going to talk more about lookalike audiences. So I'm going to go back now to my live demo. I'm going to go back into Ads Manager. And you can see under the Audience tab, you can create custom audiences, lookalike audiences, and then when you create a core audience, you can then save them and find them and save audiences. Now, when you click on custom audiences, these are the options you have. So add relevant audiences from sources that matter to you. To translate that into English, a custom audience in Facebook, and this is true also in Google and other platforms, is an audience that you're already in touch with, who already knows who you are. What that can mean is they've interacted with your website, and how do you get that data to Facebook? You put something called the Facebook pixel on your website. If you're not sure how to do it, Google Facebook pixel, adding it to my website, and you'll get a great tutorials on how to do it. Depends on what website you're on, how to do it. But that's how you're able to retarget people who visited your website. So I am able to target anybody who visited my website in the last 90 days and show them an ad. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is you can use Facebook to show an ad on Facebook to somebody who visited your website. I'm sure you can think of ways that that could be very useful. Another audience that you can create through a custom audience is a customer list. So a customer list is somebody whose email address or phone number that you have, and you can upload it into Facebook, and then it allows you to run an ad to those people. So it's another touch point besides email or phone for your customer list. But you can also use sources like Facebook, Instagram. If they've attended an event, if they visited or interacted with your Facebook page, and so forth. Very, very powerful, highly, highly recommended. But the tip to really unlocking the power of Facebook is what we call the lookalike audience. A lookalike audience is a way to reach new people who are similar to existing custom audiences. So I just showed you all the different custom audiences you can create. Now you can create a lookalike or a similar to audience. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have a list of your donors and you upload that list into a custom audience in Facebook. Now, these are people who've already given you money, but in Give Miami Day, you're trying to expand to new people. You can create a lookalike audience of that custom audience, and you can then create a campaign, an ad that is seen not by your donors, but people who are similar to your donors. Can you guys see why that could be very useful for Give Miami Day? And if the answer is yes, please put it in the chat. It's really hard to present when nobody's interacting with me. So just do me a favor and let me feel like there are human beings on the other side of this conversation. Thank you very much. Elsa, Christy, Gwendolyn, Elena, Amber, Joan, I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's really hard to talk at a screen and not know if there are people on the other side. All right. So we've talked now about lookalike audiences. We've talked about custom audiences. Are you all clear on that? And I see Pascal is asking a great question. I'll address that in a second. Is everybody clear on custom audiences versus lookalike audiences and Facebook Insights? I want to pause now, make sure that I'm getting understood before I move on. Excellent. Elsa, I appreciate you. Ariella. Oh, Ariella, hi. Gwendolyn. Yes, good. Very clear. I appreciate that. Claire, I appreciate that, guys. I'm trying to translate this into plain English. And I got to tell you, digital marketing is filled with gobbledygook because people don't want you to understand because they want to hire you. They want you to hire them to do it for them. That's why they make it so complicated. It's not as complicated as you think. It's gotten easier and more powerful with time. And people use language as a cudgel in digital marketing to make you feel stupid. And I'm not going to ever do that to you. I want you to know that this stuff is understandable, it's approachable, and frankly, it's necessary for you to be successful, especially in the post-COVID era. Michelle Ferrero, great to see you. All right, Pascal asked, what information from your donor list would you need to input into Facebook? Let me see if I can find this really quick. So, okay, let me just do this live demo style. So y'all seeing this? When you create an audience, you go to custom audience, you go to customer list, you with me? And then you're like, yeah, I wanna have one main identifier and then including other additional identifiers. So in order to do this, you must have at least their name, their email, their phone number. Those are the key data points. Okay, you got that? Then what you do is you put no, most of you don't have customer lifetime value, so you just put no. And then this is the key thing, download list template. I'm gonna just go ahead and download it to my desktop. And this will give you exactly what you're asking for, Pascal, which is, this is the template. Did it open? Oh, okay. This is what they want. They want the email address. They give you opportunity to give them multiple email addresses, phone number in this stupid format. I hate that they make you put it in this format, but it has to be in this format in order for it to work for Facebook. Next, you have all this other first name, last name, and it goes on and on. It's not showing all of the categories, but it is massive. Oh, I have my CEO wife from Catalyst Miami. I'm giving a Give Miami Day presentation. You can say something. Just say hi to the group.
Hi.
That's Gretchen Biesing. She doesn't want to show her face because she's still in her pajamas. the beauty, anybody know Gretchen? Gwendolyn Foote, Michelle Ferrer, she's like, stop. No, you don't. All right. Joan Howard, we will make these slides available. All you need to do is I'll send you my email address now. If you want to go ahead and send me an email with a request for that, I will send you my slides. I'm more than happy to do that. So it's just dgrech@bizhack.com, and I'll send you my slides. Happy to provide those. Let me see if there are any other questions you guys need. Do you need to have all the information? No, you might remember at the beginning, it said you need to have one piece of information. So you need, at minimum, an email address or a phone number. The more information you have, the higher the likelihood they'll be able to make a match. So if you have just email addresses, usually the match rate's at about 70%. If you have email address and phone number, they can match on either of those, and then they can usually make it closer to 80 or 90%. So to put real numbers on that, if you have a list of 100, usually only about 70 will find Facebook advertising profiles and see the ad. Facebook used to tell you what the match rate was. They don't anymore. They consider that private data. All right. We're about halfway through, and we're on bullet point 3, so we're in a great spot. Turning supporters into donors. Excellent question. So the slides will be made available to you. Will Stephanie from Miami Foundation, would you be able to address the question about whether the recording will be made available too? Yes. All right. We're here to serve.
Yes, Grech, the recordings will be available at givemiamiday.org/key dates after your presentation.
givemiamiday.org/key dates.
Correct.
All right, I think I got it. So I'm going to make it a clickable link for you guys. So it's givemiamiday.org/key dates. There you go. All right. So we talked about the customer file, custom audience. Remember, what we're talking about here is how to turn supporters into donors. And I mentioned to you how to get there, right, in live. You click on the customer file option. It allows you to add a CSV or text file and upload your list. And then once you've done that, you can then create lookalike audiences based on that. So if you have your donor list, you can create people who are like your donors. There's another approach here, which we call retargeting. And this is another kind of term of art, and it's used as a cudgel in the sense that it's used to make you feel like you don't know what you're doing and you need to hire someone to help you do it when you don't actually really need to hire someone to teach you this stuff. Retargeting is running an ad to people whose online behavior shows an interest in your nonprofit. Okay, that's very technical, but what that means is they've gone to your website. They've interacted with you on Instagram. They've seen a Facebook post. They've put a donation in your shopping cart and didn't complete the donation. Oh my gosh, that is a huge opportunity. And if your nonprofit has a donate now link and does not have a retargeting campaign for people who put it in the shopping cart and then did not complete the donation, you are leaving money on the table. Yes, Christy, you can include these lists from MailChimp, but not directly. Like, you need to download it from MailChimp into a CSV and then upload it. And there are services that can automate that, but honestly, at the scale that most of you are at, it's just fine to download and then re-upload. Her question was, can you upload directly to Facebook from MailChimp? Guys, if there's one way you can make money in digital marketing, it's a retargeting campaign for people who it's called abandoned shopping cart. You know, they clicked on the donate now button and they did not complete the transaction. And oh, by the way, Miami Foundation, you should be pouring donation dollars into this on Give Miami Day to retarget people, even after Give Miami Day, who clicked the donate button but didn't actually complete the transaction. It's not that simple to set up. I would definitely recommend you either take a class like mine to learn how to do it, or because I teach classes in this stuff, or you hire someone to teach you how to do it. It's not the sort of thing that's easy to figure out on your own. I mean, you certainly could, but it is powerful and it will make you money. The reason why people abandon shopping carts is usually not because they don't want to donate. If you clicked on the donate now button on a nonprofit, you want to donate, but what do you think happened? Anybody have any guests on the chat of what might lead someone to click the donate now button and not complete the transaction? Go ahead and just throw some guesses in there. Michelle said getting distracted, credit card not readily available, an expired cash donation. That's a question from Joan. Yeah, exactly. They moved into another meeting. You know, like I just put something in my Amazon shopping cart, but I didn't complete the transaction. Like there are all sorts of reasons. You're on the go, right? Or you receive a phone call. You know, they're afraid maybe of a scam, so that they'd rather have a phone interaction. They're second guessing based on budget. That's absolutely true as well. You know, or they've decided to support other causes. I would say about half of the reasons that they decide not to do it are good reasons, and the second half are reasons that you can convert them on. In fact, the statistics show that 60% of people who donate to a nonprofit, who are intending to donate to a nonprofit and get an abandoned shopping cart, will donate in that retargeting campaign. So it's like incredibly profitable. It's like money, low-hanging fruit that's waiting there for you to get it from them. About 40% of them abandoned the shopping cart for a good reason. The other 60% did it for no good reason at all. And you need to get in front of them again and remind them what they were up to. Huge way to make money, huge dropped ball by a lot of nonprofits. How do you expired cash donation from Facebook you did no receive? Okay, Joan, I am not sure what that means. Okay, I think what she's saying is, how do you set up a abandoned shopping cart? Yeah, how do you retrieve? Thank you, Joan. How do you set up an abandoned shopping cart? The short answer that you're not going to like is it's complicated and you need to get help. It's not an easy thing to set up. The slightly more technical answer, and bear with me here, is you pixel your website. That communicates between your website and Facebook. You set up an event. An event is an action online. So abandoned shopping cart is an event. You then create an automated retargeting campaign. I told you this wasn't easy. To retarget on a dynamic basis individuals who went to your landing page, clicked on the shopping cart, but did not complete the transaction. That's the 3-step process. You know, in our course, we show you how to do it. It's a 5-week course. It's pretty intense, but it's a really great opportunity for you to make more money. But lots of folks would rather just hire someone to do it for them. But in any case, you should do it. It's money. So other types of retargeting that you can do that are super fun and exciting are, you can retarget anybody who visited your website, and it's dead simple. That is way simpler than retargeting abandoned shopping carts. You can also target engaged social media people. So a lot of you probably get engagement on your social media. Oh, Joan, on that specific issue of money that was donated but not claimed, I don't know how to help you. I'm sorry. If there's anybody in the chat who has an idea on how to address that point, please just weigh in right now with Joan. Thank you for your question. So anybody who engages on your website is gold to you, but they don't always sign up for your newsletter or identify themselves. That's where retargeting is really powerful. Retargeting is a way for you to get them to sign up for your newsletter, to get them to donate, to get them to engage, to get them to come to an event. So if you have the pixel, you can retarget anybody who visited your page in the last 90 days and try to get them to do something you want them to do. Engagement on social media is another great one. So for instance, let's say somebody liked a Facebook post, but they don't follow you on Facebook, or they commented on an Instagram post, but they're not actually part of your network. That's another way to run an ad at that person to get them to actually become a donor, to become a supporter, to become a volunteer. And by the way, guys, this is a necessary follow-up to your organic or free social media. If you post on Instagram and Facebook and leave it at that, it's not enough. It's not enough. You need to get in front of them again with a really specific offer. And most nonprofits don't do this, and therefore they leave money on the table. So as I mentioned a couple times, you need the pixel in order to do this. That's how you connect Facebook ads to your website. All right, email. Almost all of you do a terrible job with email. And I don't say this with anything but love and respect for what you do, but your email newsletters are boring, nobody reads them, and they don't get any return on investment. So I wanted to introduce you to an amazing resource, and they're totally free, and they give this out for free. They're called Next After. They're a research organization that tests digital marketing strategies for giving. They think of themselves as a laboratory, right? So imagine these as scientists who are testing different approaches for getting people to donate. And then they're sharing those best practices for free to the nonprofit community. They're an amazing resource. I use them with all my clients and students. They've run 12,000 controlled experiments on email, direct mail, social media, et cetera. It's not just digital. And there's some of their biggest findings on email marketing. Number one, and a lot of this is counterintuitive and goes against what you're doing right now. Heavily designed templates don't work anymore. Why? They end up getting flagged by Google as promotions, and they get stuck into that alternative inbox. Here, I'll show you. Don't read my email, guys. This is what happens. Your email is now finding itself, why is this taking a second? Okay, there are these categories, and they get stuck in promotions. And who the hell reads this? Nobody reads this. So the reason that heavily templated emails don't get seen is because they're shown to be promotional in nature. You see this? All this template it looks good, it's actually hurting their results, right? What they want to see are emails that look like they're written from one person to another. That makes it less likely that you're going to get stuck in the promotional bucket. Next, personalization is key. Putting the name Hi Jeff in the same content led to a 3x increase in clicks. So just going back to my promotions folder, let's see if anybody personalized. Sometimes they'll personalize your inbox with what you're saying. They'll say like, Dan, become a Zoom expert. So you're not really seeing a lot of personalization there, but let's go ahead and open one. This is totally not personalized, right? Not personalized. Not personalized. Sorry, Philanthropy Miami, my client, not personalized. Fake personalized. All right, this is not going well. Let's show my ad, Dear Dan Grech. You know what I mean? So that's what personalized looks like, and that's where you get better results. And by not personalizing any of these emails, they're just going to get worse results. I'm really surprised that this is such a bad showing from all the emails. So I don't know why people aren't doing this. You may not be doing it. It's going to get a 3x increase for just putting your first name. Next is using original language. Join the fight versus you can help restore economic freedom. Join the fight is generic. We don't know what the heck that means. Or is the fight, to re-elect Trump? Is it to, counter police brutality? Is it to fight racism? Those are all fights, right? Versus you can help restore economic freedom. Okay, now we know what the heck you're talking about. 134% increase. Conclusion, write emails like a human. When you're writing emails, you write hello, person's name. You use text. You might include a quick link. You might have a signature. It is written by a human to a human. And the more you do that, the more you're likely to get people to donate using your email. The good news about this, guys, is this is easier than what you're doing right now. Another tip I would say is newsletters with endless lists of crap you're doing that are only interested to your hyper fans are not very useful. Much better for you to just promote one thing than to promote 10. You know, if you promote 10 things, they won't click on anything. If you promote one thing, there's a much higher likelihood that they're going to promote more than one. Gwen asked, they are doing that in election and political emails. Right. So I guess again, I'm getting a lot. I guess Gwen might be saying that they're doing personalization in the political stuff. Guys, political marketers are very sophisticated, you know, compared to what we might see. This is a little bit of a typo. I usually would just say, Dear Dan. This only happens for me, and I haven't changed it because I don't care. But let me just see books and books. This is very frustrating. I really here, Larry, I bet does it. Yeah, so Larry's doing better. I mean, he hasn't introduced him who he is to me, but at least he's, there you go. Woo, finally. Dear Dan, I'm reaching out to know. Quick call to action, a little bit of text, Jamar. Got it? Very simple. That photo, it's not like, it could have been something he shot. It looks like it's a stock image, but it's not super like stock imagey. You know, this is a decent email. It's more or less, you know, what you would expect a human to send to another human. So, thank you, Gwen. Sorry, when you do live demos, you're always kind of taking a little bit of a risk, but the fact that so few of them use personalization and yet they get 3x the returns. And oh, by the way, if you stick the personalization in the subject line, which you can definitely do in MailChimp and Constant Contact to answer your question, Michelle, it's very, very powerful. So Dan, become a Zoom expert. I should tell you, by the way, tomorrow I'm hosting a call. I do these BizHack live webinars, and this is going to be awesome. It's basically how to use Zoom more effectively, you know, setting up your room. The way that this is set up is because Rosemary showed me how to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick in the chat here the link if you want to join me tomorrow. Totally free, no obligation. This is a community service that we provide, this live series, and would love to do it. Joan, absolutely. The best tool that I use is MailChimp for personalization of emails to donors, Constant Contact. Any email service provider worth their salt will be able to do it. All right. Remember when I told you, when you told me you don't have the money? Yes, you do. If you are a certified nonprofit, you can apply to a $120,000 grant per year, $10,000 a month from Google, just by going to this link, google.com/nonprofits. $10,000 per month for qualified nonprofits. Some caveats is your bids are capped at $2. That means that you're not going to be very competitive for some keywords. If you don't know what I mean, don't worry about it. But you do have to actively manage your account. You do have to have a very smart bid strategy in order for you to really make use of this $10,000 a month. It's very, very powerful for awareness of what you're doing. It takes knowledge and time to work it. So I got hired, for instance, by the Florida Center for Minority Supplier Diversity, and I trained their team in how to use their Google ad grant so they could make money. They could leverage the tool to raise awareness for what they do. There's another way that you guys can leverage scholarships that are available to nonprofits. I at BizHack teach a nonprofit, offer a scholarship to nonprofits. We have a 5-week accelerated course for businesses and nonprofits called the Digital Marketer's Edge. Our next one starts in November. And if you're interested in applying and getting a nonprofit discount on the course, you're absolutely welcome. We've had folks from the Knight Foundation, We've had folks from Miami Foundation. We've had folks from Philanthropy Miami. We've had about 30 nonprofits run through this program. Daniela Levine Cava, for her nonprofit academy, had us as an instructor. So we're very used to working with nonprofits and teaching you the tricks of the trade that for-profit businesses do. And it's the least that we can do to help support nonprofits in this time of need is offer this scholarship to you all. I did have a parting thought, but I'm going to hold off on that for a few minutes and open it up to questions. So what questions do you guys have? There are 31 of you on the call. Please throw in your questions. There are no bad questions. What are your burning questions about marketing, digital marketing, donor, driving donations through digital for Give Miami Day? How can I help you? Oh, and it's Anna Mantica. Hi, Anna. I'm going to allow you to talk for a second. Anna, you're allowed to talk now. You just have to unmute yourself. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I miss you. You were a former Miami Foundation. You're the guy who brought me into the fold. You're an alumni of my course. But now you're at Miami-Dade College Foundation. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I saw that you were holding another webinar today. So of course I had to just join in and support and learn any new tricks and tips to apply to this year's campaign. So
amazing. I want to give you the floor for a few minutes.
Oh no.
Oh, you know, listen. So first of all, tell us really quickly what you're up to, because we miss you from your days at the Miami Foundation. Stephanie did a beautiful job organizing this, so you've left it in capable hands. But tell me, Anna, about your new work and how and whether you're able to utilize any of the stuff that we worked on together at BizHack for your new role.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everybody. Anna here. I am currently now over at MDC Foundation, taking over all of the wonderful things I learned from my time at the Miami Foundation and applying them here at the college to help raise scholarship funds for our students. Most recently, Dan, we did have our own Giving Day, which was IMMDC Day on September 6th. And I am happy to report that it was a record-setting campaign for us this year. We raised the most dollars that we've ever raised, and we also had the highest rates of engagement across our social platforms and our website. And we did implement some of the learnings that I gained from you, Dan, just from the workshops you've presented and from participating in BizHack last year. We tried a little bit of the ads that you suggested, not just boosting, but really doing some targeted ads and segmenting the audiences, and then doing some more of the retargeting ads that you also suggested. And we didn't really have to spend a whole lot of dollars to gain some success and see some engagement. I did it last year with Stephanie for Give Miami Day, and we also had some success there. But this is your floor, so I will kick it back over to you, but I am happy to talk to anybody here on this call or to you, Dan, after the fact too, and just share some of the tips that we learned from our Giving Day. Always happy to participate and help out my favorite nonprofit community. Yeah,
I wanna keep you on the line with me for a second.
I'm here. I'll stay.
Don't go anywhere, because
I'm not going anywhere.
All right, so do me a favor and go ahead and throw your email address into the chat if you're open to it, in case anybody is interested.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. I'm always happy to help out.
You know, Anna and I are here for you guys. So email me if you want the presentation. Email Anna if you want to learn more about her fundraising effort. I'm going to answer Elsa's question.
Sure.
And then we're going to continue with you, Anna, for the last few minutes, because we're not getting any other questions.
No problem.
I'm super curious about what your experience was. All right, so Elsa says that, Give Miami Day is a 24-hour event. We have no employees, no budget. How many times do we need to promote this, and when should we start promoting it? So let me just tell you what the science tells you, Elsa, and it's a bit of a bad news. The average person needs to see something 7 times for it to register. So in other words, you need to see an ad, or you need to see a billboard, or you need to get 7 emails before you even know who the heck it is and what they're doing. So whatever you're doing, it's not enough. And whenever you're starting, it's not early enough. you should start a campaign now to get pledges. And you should try to get your frequent donors to agree to donate money on Give Miami Day ahead of time. And you should start that process now, yesterday, as soon as possible. And look, I know that you're on a shoestring budget, but Give Miami Day is a money generating activity and you need to invest time, money, and resources in it. I know that you said you don't have advertising budgets, but I showed you at the beginning what a $20 advertising budget was able to do for one nonprofit. Do you have 20 bucks? And if the answer is no, you don't have 20 bucks, like I get it, but you're really running a charity, not a nonprofit at this point. If you don't have 20 bucks to donate in promoting your business, so your nonprofit. So that's okay, but like really understand what you're doing. You have to invest money to make money. And yeah, Elsa, I know you have 20 bucks. Exactly. That's my point, right? People will say to me, we don't have money. Do you have 20 bucks? Yes, we have money. Yes, you can advertise on Facebook and at least try it. And if you're lucky and good and work at it, you can make 900 bucks for 20 bucks. Anna, so tell me again in concrete numbers, how much money you made this year compared to last?
So we raised this year $2.7 million on IMDC Day, and last year it was $2 million, so $700,000 more. And we did see an uptick in the number of new donors this year, which was awesome.
How many? Know the numbers?
What's that?
Do you happen to know the numbers?
You'll have to give me a few moments to pull up the numbers. We had like 400 something new donors this year, and we did see a good retention rate as well from donors of last year.
Yeah, so while you're pulling those numbers, and you can even, I don't know if I can help you, allow you to, yeah, I'm gonna just promote you to a panelist and then you can share your screen. So if you have them written somewhere, you can just share your screen, otherwise you can verbally. But let me explain to you guys, kind of break down what she's doing. So first of all, to go from 2.7, from 2 million to 2.7 is a 35% increase year over year. That is phenomenal. Second, to have retention of previous donors is extraordinary. There's a whole campaign that she ran just to get people who donated to donate again. And then third, to have 400 new donors, those are people who are much more likely to donate again next year, and that is going to allow you to beat 2.7 next year if you do your retention campaign effectively.
Yep. What other numbers would you like to know? Let's see. We even just on social, for example, we had like 4 times the engagement this year on social across all of our social channels.
Are you able to share what you're reading? No worries if you're not.
Well, some of the numbers that I have here are just the documents that I have are just more so for internal purposes.
Okay.
But I can certainly share them verbally.
Yeah, go ahead and share them verbally. I just didn't want to make you have to read a bunch of numbers.
Sure. On Facebook, for example, we had more 62% more engagement this year than we did last year. On Instagram, 20% more or 60% more engagement this year than last year. We gained over 300 new followers on Instagram this year, just like using some of like targeted concerted efforts around new followers. What other things that we,
how many new donors did you say?
New donors total this year, we had 400 new donors and retained about 300 from last year.
Wait a second, you more than doubled the number of donors?
New donors, that was. Yes, total number of donors, it wasn't as much as last year, only because typically we have on-campus events, and we see a lot of donations come in that are smaller denominations from students. Because we did not have any on-campus events this year, we lost out on donations from students. So this was the first year that we did something like completely just virtual. We went from on-campus to just all virtual. And so our role was to really be the campus cheerleaders and to turn the virtual world blue, which is what we did on IMDC Day.
Wow. I am so proud of you.
Goodness, thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm taking a screen grab of this.
We did. Let's see, what other fun facts can I share?
Yeah. So
with
yeah, can you give your
that are
closing?
digital.
We're gonna wrap up because I know we're at 5 p.m. Stephanie just reminded me. I just was having
No
so much
worries.
fun.
No worries at all. I'm again, like, Give Miami Day is near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
And I love all the nonprofits that participate. I already have my dollars earmarked for my favorite nonprofits I'm going to donate to, even though we're also participating in Give Miami Day.
Exactly.
So anybody who's out there that just wants to chat, I am here for you. I put my work email in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Well, I know you guys have a very full day of amazing presenters. Gwen, I've loved you. Thank you for making this more fun and easy for me. Elsa, I'm sorry we don't have time to answer your question. I am very, very grateful that you, helped bring me into the Miami Foundation world, Anna, and I'm so proud of the work you're doing at Miami-Dade College Foundation. Interestingly, one of your predecessors is Glenn Caulfield, who is a part of GK Collaborative, chair of the board of Philanthropy Miami, and a BizHack alumnus. So you're part of a really distinguished and amazing group. So just to wrap up, again, guys, email me if you'd like a copy of these slides to share with your board and anyone else. I also really encourage you guys to take advantage of the scholarship program for nonprofits that we're offering and that Anna was a part of, if you're interested in like really digging in and learning this for yourself and your nonprofit. And with that, I'll say thank you to the Miami Foundation. And Steph, did you want to hop on with any closing remarks?
Oh no, you've got it, Dan. Take us out of here.
All right. So finally, my closing remarks, a little bit more inspiration for you all, a little parting thought. So the Chinese word for crisis is composed of two characters, danger and opportunity. And everybody sees the danger. I mean, nonprofits, humans are dying left and right. Businesses, this is a depression we're in. This is a once in a lifetime viral outbreak that we're experiencing. And the danger is the moment you step out your door, turn on the news, it's imminent in our minds. But in danger is opportunity. Look what Anna did. Look at how she took an online-only virtual event and increased donations nonetheless by 35% by focusing on the love that people feel for MDC and generating that online. So in this crisis, in this moment of danger is opportunity. And I just wanted to say, grasp the opportunity. Your first important step is being here today with me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you all, and I look forward to being part of your journey moving forward. I hope to hear from you soon.